Hello, world of TikTok. I would like to share my friend Ahmed Omar's story. From his point of view, I will speak in the first person. I'm Ahmed Omar. I worked and lived in Gaza before the war. I was involved in trade, distributing food, sweets, and candies to supermarkets throughout the region. I was married and had 4 children, 1 son and 3 daughters. My eldest son is 13 years old. Every day after work, I would return to my home in the Shujai neighborhood in Gaza, where my wife and children eagerly awaited my return. I always brought with me a little more love for them, bringing home treats, along with the children's needs to make them happy. We spent our time in my garden, a place I took great pride in, caring for each tree and flower. My flowers held many memories, and they became a symbol of my love for life. But everything changed in 2014 when the war began on Gaza. One fateful night, the planes bombed my house and my garden and my business warehouse. The first strike shattered a large part of my life, and in that moment it felt as though time had stopped. I was devastated, but I held on to the belief that God's care was with me, pushing me to rebuild. I managed to construct another house in the same place, restore my garden, and revive my business. But then in October of 2023, the war returned. The planes began bombing the neighborhood houses, and I knew that the life as we knew it was over. We had to leave. The bombing intensified, and the screams of children drowned out the sound of the explosions. It was a terrifying night. Death seemed to be everywhere as houses were destroyed over the heads of their residents. I remember hearing my children chant, "We will die now." That moment is forever etched in my mind. I grabbed my wife and children, holding their hands tightly, and we fled, leaving behind everything: our home, our car, my garden, my work, even our clothes. Survival was all that mattered. As the bombs rained down, my dreams seemed to vanish with the destruction of our home. We made our way to Khan Yunis, arriving with nothing. For 2 months, we stayed in a shelter run by the United Nations, but the bombs followed us there too. The sounds of planes overhead and the artillery shells shaking the ground created chaos. Civilians were killed in the shelter, and we were forced to flee once again, carrying only the fear of the unknown. We walked for miles, shells exploding around us, terror gripping our hearts. That night, we reached Mawasi, a small area south of Gaza. It was cold and rainy, the winds harsh. We didn't know what to do. We gathered firewood to warm the children, but there was no real shelter. We found some large cloth and pieces of wood to construct a makeshift tent. It gave us little protection from the heat of summer or the cold of winter. We lived there for about a month until another warning came. We had to evacuate. The scene was all too familiar. Uncertainty, fear, and a desperate search for safety. We returned to the Karada area, where we set up our tent again. But one night, tanks came in and bombed the area. Many people died, and once again, we were forced to flee. This time, we sought refuge in Nusrat, in central Gaza, but yet again the story repeated itself. We gathered our things and made our way back to Deir al-Balah, feeling like we were simply waiting for death. There is no food. There is no medicine. There is only death. Yet I continue to search for life for the sake of my children. Every day they ask me, why are they being targeted? Why must they face this brutality? All I want is to give them a future, but it feels like the world is taking that away. The funds raised through this campaign will have an immense impact. They will help Ahmed's family secure their basic needs: shelter, clean water, food, and essential medical care. More importantly, your support will show Ahmed that he is not alone. He will know that a community stands behind him, ready to help care for his loved ones and ensure their survival. Your generosity will provide Ahmed's family with much-needed relief, warmth, nourishment, and hope for rebuilding their lives. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for your humanity. Now, if you could please save this post, share it with someone, copy the link, comment at least 5 words, like it, follow me if you'd like, and then if you could also go to his page, which I will link in the comments below, and share his donation link with people, anyone you know that can offer any support. It is greatly appreciated. Much love.